I want to take just a moment and let our partners around the world know how we're doing at Global Action. And I want to thank all of you for the way you have supported this ministry. Global Action has been training leaders around the world in the hard places for more than 20 years now. And right now we're remaining steadfast in this difficult time. Thank you again for all those who support our work, who give to serve those who are in need around the world. We just could not do this without you, and we need you now more than ever before. I've been meeting with our staff members around the world. We have technology we use. It's called a Zoom room. Some of you may be familiar with this, but it's just sort of an online platform where we get into a room together, basically, and we meet with our staff members. Their names and faces pop up on the screen from all over the world, and we get together and we encourage each other. We also use, email and WhatsApp and other forms of technology to stay in touch. We also travel quite a bit. Right now we're not traveling. We're using a lot of technology to do our work and stay in touch and reach out to people in need. But as I've been reaching out to our staff members in the non-Western world, I've been very concerned about how they're doing with this pandemic and how it's affecting them. And I found myself encouraged by them. And just to share a few stories, I talked with one of our staff members in Africa today, and she's just so delightful when I talk with her, and just always so upbeat. And I was asking her, how are you doing in Zimbabwe? And she said, we're used to difficulties. We're used to the threat of the HIV virus. That's a reality here that we all live with every day. Cholera, hunger. Most of us don't have access to health care, so our lives are different. And yeah, we're concerned, but we're trusting God that He'll be with us even in this. And I just thought to myself, wow, it's so inspirational. I was talking to one of our staff members in India and asking him how he was doing. He said, we're doing good. We're worried, just like everyone else, but our main concern is how this will affect our ministry. And then he broke down in tears and he said, my greatest passion during this time is to see people come to Christ. And my greatest concern is that there are people in my country who don't know Jesus Christ. That was just so inspiring to me. And then I received an email from one of our staff members this morning who's in Cuba. He's not in Cuba right now, but he is over our work in Cuba. He's actually Cuban, living in the United States. He travels back and forth to Cuba, and he wrote this: my message to all is that we try to see in the midst of this crisis an opportunity to show the love of Jesus Christ. Wow, that is inspiring. And I talked, one other story, I talked to one of our staff members in Guatemala this morning who said, we can't do all the things that we were doing, but right now we're getting ready to go take food to a children's home, to an orphanage, and we're going to leave it outside the door. We want to go in and play with the kids, but we can't, but we can do something. And I think there's a powerful lesson in this for all of us. I know just for me, I think the tendency in this time is for us to be turned in on ourselves and thinking, how is this going to affect me? But I'm learning from my brothers and sisters in Christ who are working and serving in hard places that they are concerned, of course, about themselves, but they're turning outward and thinking about those around them. And I think that is an encouraging lesson, for all of us, for me to be concerned about, my parents, my children, my family, to be concerned about staff members and colleagues, and to be concerned to look for ways, creative ways to show the love of Christ in this time. I found that to be inspiring. I found it to be encouraging. The verse we're hanging on to as a staff team is 1 Corinthians 15:58. I'll share it with you. Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain. We are remaining steadfast. Our prayer is that all of you will remain steadfast and encouraged. We'll continue to give you updates and hopefully words of encouragement here and there. But again, to all of our supporters, thank you so much. Our prayer is that you will be safe, that you will remain encouraged, and that you will remain steadfast.